As a young lad, Billy, the little pirate, was brought up in a family of rogues who lived on the sea. Every day, he watched his parents and older siblings go out to pillage ships and bring home their loot, while he was left to take care of the little houseboat they called home. He loved the fierce emotions of the ocean but never felt like he belonged to the pirate life. One day, while exploring an old wreck, he stumbled upon an old trunk filled with peculiar items. Taking a closer look, he noticed something shiny in the corner and pulled out a small golden trinket in the shape of a compass. As soon as he touched it, it started spinning around and pointing in towards a direction away from where his family had been sailing. Billy had a feeling that something was calling him away from his ship and his family. He tried to ignore it, but the feeling kept growing stronger until one night when everyone was fast asleep, he silently slipped out of bed and made his way to the deck of the ship. He stumbled upon a chest with a compass inside of it. With a sense of excitement, he opened the chest to find that the needle on the compass was spinning wildly and pointing out in one direction. Billy felt the urge to follow it, and without thinking twice he grabbed a few supplies and jumped onto his small boat with no idea where he was going or why. The little pirate soon found himself sailing through uncharted waters with no clue as to where he might find himself in the morning. After days of sailing, he came across a small island with an ominous-looking castle. As he approached, he noticed a group of ghosts flying around the castle. After attempting to communicate with them, the ghosts flew away, and Billy took that as a sign that he could enter the castle. Inside he found an old witch who had been cursed by her own spell, transforming her into a terrible creature. She told Billy that she could grant him one wish if he would help to free her from her curse by finding 3 magical items hidden inside a mysterious dungeon in the dark forest. Billy was intrigued and interested, so he agreed. The witch gave him a map and told him to travel westward to the edge of the forest where he would find what he was looking for. Billy set off with only a few supplies, a pocket knife, and the map given to him by the witch. As he journeyed through the forest, he encountered a few people that were willing to give him hints as to where exactly he should go. After weeks of traveling, Billy finally reached his destination, a mysterious dungeon. The entrance was guarded by a lake full of crocodiles trained to kill intruders. Billy decided to take a risk and tried to sneak past the crocodiles. He came up with a plan to make a raft from the materials found in the forest and paddle across the lake while being as quiet as possible. At first, it seemed like it was going to work, but then one of the crocodiles spotted him and started chasing after him. Billy paddled faster than he ever had, but the croc was gaining on him. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Billy noticed an old rope bridge leading over the lake. He quickly paddled towards it and made it just in time before jumping off his raft and running across the bridge while being chased by the crocodile below. The bridge swayed dangerously as he ran across it, but he eventually reached safely on the other side of the lake. Billy took a deep breath before entering the dungeon. As he moved inside, he was welcomed by an eerie silence. He slowly made his way through the corridors, passing by dozens of ancient murals that depicted monsters and demons. As he continued forward, he noticed a faint light coming from a door deeper within the dungeon. He followed the light and found himself in a room having old trunks. As he was looking at the stuff, his eye caught a glimpse of strange-looking trunk having a dragon carved on its top. He remembered the same he saw in the castle when he met the witch. His instinct urged him to open it. He had a deep feeling that he would find something inside he was looking for. As he approached closer, he found the trunk was locked and the lock was covered with wax, the opening of which was not less than an arduous deal. Billy was determined, and after several attempts of trying he somehow managed to break the lock. As he opened the lid, his eye almost went blind due to the sharp reflection. The trunk was filled with rubies that seemed magical. The reflection was so bright that looking straight into them was not possible. He remembered that witch told him about finding the reflective red metal, so he picked one and put it into his jacket. Now, the task was to find the other 2 things. Billy was completely unaware of where he had to search for things in that big dungeon, but in his heart, he knew he would be able to collect all the things to help the witch escape from the curse. He came out of the room and started wandering in the corridors. Suddenly one of the magnificent wall frames caught his attention. At first, he didn't know it was the same frame where he would find his second item, but the magnificence of the frame was what attracted his attention. As he approached near, he found some dragons in the frame. It took him a long time to realize that the frame was made of pieces and the tail of one of the dragons held the secret he was looking for. As soon as he touched the frame in order to appreciate the artwork, he realized that the frame was made of pieces that could be separated and used as weapons. As his curiosity aroused, he started separating all the pieces, and that was the time when he found the secret dragon dagger he was looking for. Now, he became successful in collecting the 2 items and he was only 1 item away to complete his adventure. After failing to locate the 3rd item for 3 days, Billy was getting desperate. He had searched every corner of the dungeon and started to lose hope until he sat down in his sadness and felt something strange. The mural beneath him had begun to slide away, revealing a flight of stairs. Billy was astonished by the surprise and descended into a room with a secret book placed atop an old table in its center. He cautiously approached and took hold of the book. It was exactly what he had been looking for. Relief swept over him as he realized this must have been a gift from God, rewarding his persistence. Gathering the 3 items, he started his return to the witch's castle and presented them to her. The witch placed the ruby and dagger on the book to unlock it. Inside was a mantra that could restore the witch to her former self. She read it aloud and Billy saw the witch transformed into a beautiful woman before his eyes, someone he'd never seen anything like before. His heart was filled with happiness for helping his friend find a new life. Now, he reminded her of the promise she made. The witch, who was now transformed into a beautiful lady, asked him about his heart's desire. He told her how he always wanted to live a normal life away from the life of looters and how he dreamt of having a small beautiful house, a library, and a music room to enjoy different instruments. Billy had an intense longing to live as a regular person, full of positivity and hope, one who could help others rather than hurt them. The lady had already taken a shine to Billy, so she granted his wish. She was able to construct an idyllic home for him on the little island where he could start afresh and achieve all his dreams.